Like the previous episode, we will apply several biblical principles and concepts as we address what the Bible says about the concentration of power, and we'll discover how biblical principles and specific biblical accounts directs us towards a limited and decentralized system of government. In this episode, we'll look at the nature of God and the nature of Satan and see how they apply to the concept of decentralization. We're going to begin with the story of the Tower of Babel. In this account, the people of God are not obeying God's command to fill the earth. Instead, they are concentrating in one area and begin building a tower not to glorify God, but to honor and glorify themselves. As a result, God is displeased with this action, displeased with the tower and its purpose, as well as their disobedience to His command to fill the earth. In order to change this situation, He changes everybody's language, causing the people to not only stop building the tower, but also to scatter, to finally obey His command to fill the earth. Does this action, the fact that people are now spreading out and scattering across the earth, negatively impact God's ability to enact His plan? Wouldn't it be easier for God to implement His plan if He had everybody all in one area rather than all spread out, presumably having to take turns working on these people here, those people there? Well, if you understand God's nature, the answer is no. Having them spread out and decentralized is definitely not going to make implementing His plan more challenging. That's because of the nature of God. He is omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent. He is all-knowing, all-powerful, and His presence is everywhere at the same time. Since He's everywhere at once, the fact that people are spread out and scattered is not going to change anything. It's not going to affect anything in a negative way. However, Satan's nature does not include any of those attributes. Satan is not all-knowing, not all-powerful, and he's not omnipresent. He can only be in one place at one time. Thus, separation of power and decentralization does make it more difficult for him. Causing the people building the Tower of Babel to spread out does make Satan's goal much more difficult. The damage that he could cause if people were concentrated in one area would be much greater. But when power and authority are decentralized, separated, and limited, his ability to draw people away from God's will is vastly weakened. Understanding the nature of God and nature of Satan clearly shows that a decentralized system would be much more prudent and biblical than one that concentrates power into the hands of a few.